See, this racial stuff goes into a whole bunch of discussion which has stuff that you can't prove. You can't prove if somebody is a racist unless they really come out and do the act and is found to be that. Am I making sense?
You're making sense to me. Welcome back to the Steve Malz. Let me just finish my Jell-O pudding. Welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Joining us now that was, by the way, Bill Cosby, but joining us is Kevin Jackson, author of The Big Black Lie, How I Learned the Truth About the Democratic Party. Hey, how are you, sir? What's up, Kevin? You hear me? Kevin should be hearing me. He might have froze. Either that's a nice smile.
Yeah,
there you go. You hear me,
hear
Kevin?
me? Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
fine.
good.
Yeah, I hear.
Welcome back to the show. Appreciate it. So,
oh shoot, I lost you.
Okay, he said he lost me. Well, maybe we could just.
Hey, hang on, I'm gonna get a better connection here. Give me a couple minutes. Sorry, guys.
I don't have a couple of minutes.
All right, well.
Yeah, stay where you are. Yeah, I hear you. That's fine. That's fine. We could just do it on the phone this way. All right. So tell me your impressions when Barack Obama was speaking yesterday and Friday and saying what he was saying. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, what a joke. I mean, the idea that Barack Obama is trying to make it sound like he's got, the experiences of a black man in America is ridiculous. It was totally to get street cred. And anybody that was listening can understand that. How do you grow up with two white parents, living in Hawaii, go to, and I'm going to use this term loosely, but white colleges and university. He didn't go to a historically black college or university. He acts as if people were threatened by him and locking their doors and women clutching their purses. This is the most benign looking black man on the planet. So what is he trying to prove? Really nothing. I mean, it was all contrived. It was just part to fit the narrative of the story that he wants to tell.
Right. And aside from all that, what does any of what he said have to do with Trayvon Martin and the case, except at the beginning when he said, when he tried to explain why African Americans don't accept the verdict or question it more. But then again, he gave these examples, which he said 2 of the 3 happened to him, as reasons for it, and then went further and acknowledged that the African American community knows about black-on-black crime and knows about violence in their own community, but blamed it on a violent history in our country. What does that even mean?
He blamed, look, there's nobody certainly under 40 that can relate to anything that he said. When he talks about, I mean, think about it. He's hearkening back to the slavery. He's hearkening back to the civil rights movement. You'd have to be 70 to 80 years old for most of what he said to have any meaning. And for the record, and this is the part that really gets me, they want to harken back to history with respect to blacks and say the reason why he used the word frustrated, that blacks are frustrated that people don't want to pay attention to this. Well, let me tell you what whites are frustrated about. They're frustrated about the amount of crime that black teens create, and therefore the reason why if a person locks their door, Barack Obama wants you to believe, oh, white people aren't getting carjacked by young black thugs. He wants you to believe that black people aren't going to stores and stealing. You've seen these gang mobs going around. He wants you to believe that white women aren't getting their purses snatched, but he's never bringing it up. He knows that's happening, but he's completely disingenuous by saying, oh, no, that's this latent racism that they don't even know that they have because it's institutionalized. No, it isn't. Most of these children have no idea of what Barack Obama is talking about with respect to racism. And when you look around this country, every major city, every little town, blacks are lawyers, doctors, attorneys, going to the highest offices in the land, including his. What excuse does this knucklehead think he's pulling off on the American people?
Yeah, good question. We're talking to Kevin Jackson, author of The Big Black Lie, How I Learned the Truth About the Democratic Party, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And furthermore, Wasn't it Jesse Jackson himself who thinks that Florida is an apartheid state that needs the United Nations to intervene into, and that Emmett Till is that Trayvon Martin is Emmett Till? Didn't he also say that at his nowadays? But this is going back a while. When he walks down a dark street at night, and if he hears noise in back of him, and he turns around and he sees that it's a bunch of white people or white men, he's relieved. Didn't he say that? Isn't that profiling?
Look, first of all, I tell people all the time, if you don't profile, you're an idiot. You profile where to build your house. You profile the neighborhood you want your
Absolutely. Amen.
You profile who you want your daughter to date, and
no, keep
and
going.
lots of other,
yeah.
And you profile lots of other things. And the problem is that, the idea that profiling is some sort of a bad thing is just ridiculous. As far as Jesse Jackson's comment in Florida, it was that, again, apartheid. I would love to see. Let me tell you what apartheid is. Apartheid is based on how liberals have gathered blacks into these urban indoctrination centers and have essentially given them one group thought, built these, ghettos, and essentially said, we're going to put a black overseer over you, and the only way for you to escape is if you can escape the group think and the group thought that liberalism is going to create for you. It's black conservatives who have escaped these ghettos, and thankfully we're out here. I mean, unfortunately, not enough people have the guts, but we're out there saying the truth about what's going on.
Well, in the next, I hate to interrupt you, Kevin, but in the next 35, 40 seconds, that's what I was going to say. The media is on board with this. The so-called leaders are on board with this. But the brave people like you and Larry Elder and Bill Cosby and Charles Barkley are fighting. But how could you get more people on board from your community?
Well, I don't know. Well, I think we've got to run messaging in the black community. That's what my team is doing. We're running a message right now about this kid, Tamar Boggs, who saved a young white girl from being abducted, a 5-year-old girl, and he rode his bike chasing the kidnapper in a car. That's a story of empowerment. That is the true black black condition that I'm aware of and what I grew up doing. He didn't care about that little girl's color. She happened to be white.
Right.
So those are the stories we got to tell.
Kevin, thank you so much, sir.